Hello YouTube. It is your boy GZTV back with another video, and today we are going to be talking about the Predator remake, the Hulu exclusive Prey, which just came out on Hulu last Friday. I watched it literally the day it came out, but of course me and my cousin were hanging out for the weekend, so I didn't really have time to make this video, but here we are. We are talking about a interesting remake and something that kind of came out of nowhere. I do have another new movie from this year I do want to check out, and then after that we can go back to watching the classic films I've wanted to get to for so long. But yeah, based on the Predator franchise, fifth installment in the franchise, prequel to the first four films. No crazy actors and actresses here. It is a streaming platforms exclusive. You can't really expect much there. Yeah. So in 1719, Naru, a young Comanche woman trained as a healer, dreams of becoming a hunter. A great hunter like her brother Tabe. So her brother is kind of like her role model in the village, and she's like, I want to become a warrior. I know I'm a woman. I know the gender roles during the time, but I want to become a warrior. And she becomes inspired by his exploits and stuff like that. While tracking deer with her dog Sari, she witnesses the arrival of a thunderbird in the sky. In reality, a spaceship dropping off a predator, taking it as a sign that she is ready to prove herself, and she's going to battle whatever comes out of this ship that is flying in the sky, and it lands somewhere in the forest, and she's like, I'm ready to prove myself here. And this is a really badass movie. I'm going to say this first and foremost. I don't think it's anything crazy. It's very comparable to the original Predator, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger is great. The original design of the Predator is a lot better. But I think as a final girl, and for a female main role in this film, I think Naru is amazing. And I think this idea of the Comanche tribe, I think the Indian tribe concept has been explored in this franchise. I just haven't really explored it that much. I don't really need to go into those movies necessarily, because I have other movies I need to get to. But yeah, the Indian vibe was really cool. The time period was really cool. It's set up for a great movie. Tabe agrees to take her with him as he leads a search party for the mountain lion that attacked one of the tribe's hunters. So they think there's a mountain lion that attacked the hunters, when in reality it isn't. They retrieve their wounded tribe member and depart, the lion having apparently been spooked. Well, maybe it was the lion. The lion having apparently been spooked off by the predator that follows and observes the hunters while collecting the skulls of several local predatory species. So, in other films, Predator literally acts as the literal title states. He acts as the literal predator. But in this film, he takes on a whole different role, and it's really cool how they did this. Again, not watching the other three films in this franchise, I'm not sure how they did the other stuff. I know there was Predator 2, there was Predators, and then maybe a modern day revamp of it. I'm not really sure. But I've watched 2 of the 5 movies, and I haven't seen the Predator take on this anti-Predator, kind of like a Deadpool being the anti-hero in his respective franchise. But it's called Prey because it's awesome. I really like the concept of this film. Predator is going against the predators, and it's so damn cool. If you're seen as a threat, he's going to kill you. He acts as a prey almost. You almost ask, is he the predator or is he the prey in this movie? And obviously, the movie's called Prey, so I would assume he is the prey. I mean, I think that's a really cool concept that they did. Maybe showing the origins of Predator, maybe showing that all along he wasn't even a monster in any way, which is really, really cool. Tabe, however, stays behind to find the lion and complete the hunt. Naru circles back with Pake and finds Tabe. Together they set a trap for the lion, but it sneaks up to them and kills Pake. So obviously a lot of bodies, a lot of carnage. That's very normal for a Predator movie in the franchise. I'm not sure how much critical reception is going on with this film, but I'm just going to say talk for myself for the most part. I usually like to kind of bounce my ideas off of other people that have reviewed the movie, but it literally just came out 3 days ago, so 2 days ago, so I don't know. So Naru manages to wound the lion but falls and strikes her head after being distracted by a strange burst of light in the distance, obviously being the predator. And in this film, compared to the original Predator, I'm going to compare it a lot, obviously. They're very contrasting films, and this is a prequel, so I think it's like a really good comparison to have. In this film, the Predator comes out a lot sooner and makes his presence known and wants to stop evil as soon as possible. Naru isn't the victim here. Naru, like, at the end of the story, we find out she is the predator. She is predator, and predator is actually prey, and I think that's a really cool thing that they included here, and a spin-off, a complete twist, a complete, like, mind-boggling movie. I really enjoy it. So Tabe carries her home and returns to finish off the weakened lion, a deed for which he is honored by the chieftain and the rest of the tribe. So really at this point, she's lost a lot of honor because in the process of trying to take out this lion, she dies. Who fucking knows how she's going to take out the predator, because that's a bigger damn problem that no one is really recognizing. And obviously, watching the other movies and knowing this is kind of like a prequel to that, we know what that being is out there, and they're not quite aware of it. So Naru kind of loses some respect in the village because she wasn't able to take out the lion, and she got her hunting privileges pretty much taken away. Yeah. An envious Naru leaves home with Saori in secret the next day to hunt. She comes across a herd of skinned bison and later tries to kill a grizzly bear, but quickly gets cornered by the beast due to her lack of experience. So, as much as she wants to hunt, she's not really experienced enough. So this bear just gets in her way, and this is when Predator comes in. Predator kind of becomes a hero in this series and in this movie, and it's fucking awesome. This movie is a journey. I like the aesthetics of the film. I like the foggy landscapes. I obviously love the jungle. That's why I've really come to love the Predator franchise 2 fucking films in. And the skinned bison is a sign that there is another force there, of course. Suddenly, she watches as the bear is overpowered and killed by her stalker, fleeing horror before running into a group of Comanche hunters sent to find and bring her home. So she kind of runs into a trap. She kind of runs into these French people. It's kind of an interesting situation. It's crazy. We have like Comanches. We have like French motherfuckers hunting the Comanches and kind of like maybe playing on a commentary of what happened when like the white people took over Indian lands and stuff like that, you know? Maybe a little historical play on that. I mean, I don't know. This movie provides a lot, and I really like it. I would watch it again. I think the fight scenes are fantastic here. The creature swiftly ambushes and kills them, and Naru tries to escape before her foot gets snagged in a metal trap. So obviously, there's like traps everywhere across the jungle. Like these people are really trying to catch some animals, the predator, whatever. The creature, seeing that she is no longer a threat, leaves. So once you kind of neutralize yourself, predator, and I put that in quotations because we shouldn't really be calling it predator in this film. We should be calling it prey. And yeah, it really just gets you thinking. The French voyagers come in now. Okay, I'm stupid. Who were the ones responsible for skinning the bison of their pelts, find Naru and cage her, ordering their translator, Raphael Adalini, to question her about the creature. What did you see? How tall was it? I mean, what did it do? What was its behaviors? They're kind of trying to research and study it themselves. Unlike Arnold Schwarzenegger's crew in the original, where they just go balls fucking deep in the woods and they just keep getting shit on and they barely learn anything until Arnold realizes he covers himself in mud and he can hide in places and shit. But here, Naru and them, they kind of come together a little bit, and like, although she's held captive, they're going against this monster. And again, I'm not even sure if they're the monsters. I think the French people are the monsters. I think all the predators in the movie are the monsters, like the bears, like the snakes, all these different predators they show, and it's really cool. They show a bunch of like different situations of the food chain, and ecosystems in the jungle and shit, and it's so cool. They really just plant this thing in your mind that, like, I don't know. So, let's see. When she refuses to talk, The lead voyageur reveals that he has Tabe captive as well and tortures him before tying both siblings up as bait for the predator. But again, they're not a threat to the predator, and this is something that the French people don't realize. Like, if you're not a threat to the predator, he's not going to attack you. The creature, using his advanced weaponry, kills most of the voyageurs while Tabe and Naru escape. The predator never had intentions of going after these people because it only goes after people that are threats and that are just victimizing other people. Naru escapes Sari from the Voyagers' camp and stumbles across a dying Raphael, who teaches her how to use his flintlock pistol in exchange for medical treatment. So she gets a weapon. She finally has like an actual weapon. You know, the Indians were using axes. They were using spears and bow and arrows and shit like that. She has like a flintlock pistol, and it's like a mix of like eras. I don't know. It's so weird to me. And she's obviously a medical like expert. Naru gives him herbs to staunch the bleeding from his wounds and inadvertently discovers that doing so also reduces a person's body heat, making it difficult for the creature to see one's heat signature. That's what happened when, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, they kind of come to this realization that Arnold Schwarzenegger came up with in the original film. You know, if you put something cold on you, it kind of chills you and it, like, changes your body temperature and it makes you, like, mix in with the environment more. It's really cool. So the creature fails to see Raphael with its thermal vision, but finds and kills him when he makes noise. So Predator, like, steps on him and he's like, like, squirming around, and he kills him. Tabe comes in on horseback to rescue Naru, even though they really weren't in trouble. The siblings are able to weaken the creature before it uses its invisibility cloak to hide and sneak up on Tabe, killing him by stabbing him through the back. So pretty much everyone but Naru and like her parents die. So it's sad, but again, if you pose a threat, you're gonna die. It's inevitable. Naru flees into the woods and finds the surviving lead voyager, who had previously tortured Tabe, collecting water. She knocks him out, severs one of his legs, and gives him an unloaded gun before eating the herbs to hide her heat signature, baiting the creature to kill the voyager. So kind of some badass shit. Naru does some insane stuff here. Oh my god. Whew. She uses Adelini's pistol to ambush the predator from behind as it revels in its kill, knocking the creature's mask off and stealing it, and runs deep into the woods to prepare for a final showdown. So the mask is what has the lasers on it, if you guys didn't know from the original film. That's pretty much a big part. He shoots like the arrows out of it. It's really cool. You guys know this, though. You've seen the original film. Most people that have seen this movie have seen the original film. The final showdown starting to happen, you know, the story starting to unfold and come to an end. So using all her knowledge of the creature's characteristics and tactics, Naru lures it into the same mud pit she had fallen into previously, then uses the creature's mask to turn its own projectile weapon against it. So, like, so many badass things that happen. Like, when she gets stuck in the mud earlier in the film, like, last second, she has this dope-ass fucking, like, boomerang axe where she, like, throws it, it's on a string, and it's, like, slices someone up, and it comes back to her. It's so damn cool. And she helps her to, like, kind of like a rope to pull herself out of the water as well. The creature dies of its wounds, and Naru severs its head and paints her face in its glowing blood. My god, this was fucking savage. She brings the head and the flintlock pistol, revealed by the engraving to be the gun that will be handed to police officer Mike Harrigan by a Predator leader in 1997. So, again, kind of proving that it's a prequel. Yeah, back to her tribe, who believed her to be dead, and tells them that with the arrival of white men, it is time for them to find a new home. Again, they're going to be pushed out of their lands because of the white people. Kind of a historical movie, if you will. The tribe honors her victory as Naru, beaming with pride, turns to face a young girl. Kind of trying to be the role model, kind of that symbolism. It's great. An end credit image shows 3 Predator ships arriving on Earth and heading towards the tribe. Jesus. 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.7. The rare action thriller that spikes adrenaline without skimping on character development. Prey is a Predator sequel done right. The film is a 7 out of 10 on Metacritic, generally be favorable reviews. Highest rated Predator film on both websites I just mentioned. Rolling Stone said the film was a long-awaited masterpiece and a series highlight. Trachtenberg succeeds both in capturing the spirit of the original Predator and giving the movie its own identity. Amber Midthunder's performance. Her character was indigenous version of Ellen Ripley, the protagonist of the Alien film series. The visual effects, the action sequences were awesome. The film was a refreshing take on the Predator franchise. The slow reveal of the Predator across teasers was great. The development of Naru's character and her abilities depicted across the movie were great. The film's strength resides in its simplicity and its commitment to follow its core concept. The Comanche representation and the absence of stereotypes is also cool as well. This movie is the best addition to the Predator franchise since the 1987 film, in my opinion. The cinematography, the script was great. The film's setting provides a fresh new context. Applauded. I like Midthunder's performance, the development of her character. Naru's a smart action hero. The action sequences, again, across the fight scenes and the level of violence, again, like most people kind of have the same things to say, and I agree with them. The movie is a 3.5 out of 4 on RogerEbert.com, a worthy successor to the original Predator. The representation of the Comanche Nation in Naru's character is great. The film is scary, entertaining, and emotional at the same time. 8 out of 10 on IGN. The level of violence and tension depicted across the action sequences, great. Midthunder's performance as Naru, great. Ferocious. The movie provides a simple story that avoids being simplistic. Empire has it at 4 out of 5. The best Predator movie since the original Predator. People are saying the same thing. Midthunder's performance and her character. Naru is a ferocious heroine who does not need to embrace masculinity to become a warrior. Found the period setting authentic. The fight scenes and the level of violence. People have the same things to say. They love this movie, but I'm going to head out here. I got to watch some TV. I'm kind of behind.